All right, guys, good things come to those who wait, and we really wanted to have our next guest on for the longest time, man. We see him, really work so hard at the gym and respect his hustle and his grind, man, and definitely want to talk to him. And we have him here on the HSP podcast. We are in Saddlebrook, New Jersey at the House, Powerhouse Gym, the best gym in New Jersey, hands down. So, listen, pleased to have on the show Anthony De Cruz. You can follow him on his social media at B3Different_fitness on Instagram, man. Welcome to the show. Welcome to HSP, brother.
Thank you, guys. Finally.
Hey, patience is a virtue. Yeah, exactly.
Patience is the key to success, definitely.
It is. So much to talk about. So let me get started, man. Talk about your journey, your early stages, because I kind of have I like to eavesdrop. I like to hear about stuff. I got that journalistic ear, right? So following you on your Instagram
that's
as
what you
well.
call it, yeah.
So follow. Oh, gossip, whatever. So basically, your journey, you really worked your way up to where you're at right now.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
you're on. So it's not just somebody that really took shortcuts or anything like that. You're someone from day one were focused on looking the way you are and getting the physique that you are.
Correct.
Talk about that journey, man, and what made you decide, hey, this is the kind of lifestyle that I want to lead.
Well, I've always been an athlete since I was younger. I played baseball, football, basketball, soccer, volleyball, all types of sports. Bodybuilding was something that I, looked into a lot when I was younger. A lot of my friends that see me now, they were like, man, you always said you wanted to be a bodybuilder. Funny thing about it, I just saw bodybuilders. I didn't even know names or anything like that until I actually started bodybuilding almost 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. But, my journey, I'm going on 8 years now. I started from one point to where I'm at now. We still have a lot more work to do. I used to be in the nightlife. I used to be out there. I used to be like everyone else. Well, all these other young guys, drinking and smoking hookah, being out in clubs every day. Yeah. I used to own 2 nightclubs, so that lifestyle wasn't something that was of health. So I just wanted to take a different path where I can help people. So I felt like that nightlife I wasn't helping people. I saw a lot of bad things happen more than good. Accidents happening, too many bad things I saw, not to mention so many of these things right now. But I just wanted to find what my purpose was in life. And I think that fitness, to me, there's a purpose that I'm here. There's a purpose why I'm at this level of my life right now. And I've been able to impact fortunately people's lives, and that's something that I thrive on. So that's why I continue to work harder, especially at my age. I'm turning 39 next week, so
get out of here, dude. Really?
Yeah.
Bro,
never. You don't look it.
No,
I appreciate it. I appreciate
No.
it. So I just want people to know, even at my age, you can still do it. You know what I mean? And you mentioned shortcuts and stuff like that. Trust me, you can do whatever you want. And we'll talk about all that stuff because I like to be honest with everything. So feel free to ask me all the questions you want because honesty is virtue in this world. So. Let's get to it, man. Let's talk more about it.
So I'm still blown away. You're 39, dude. That's crazy. So at that age, right? As the body gets older, right?
Yes.
So you said 8 years you've been at this, right?
So far, yeah, going on 8 years.
So now, talk about the technique now. So as you feel older, the body kind of takes a little bit more to. Also replenish itself and also
recover.
To see the results too as well because not like you're in your 20s, mid-20s doing this and stuff like that, and you see how difficult is that? Do you find it's a little bit harder now, or do you think you're like, man, if I would have done this in my 20s, it would be a little bit easier?
To be honest with you, I can't say yes or no to that because injuries could happen at any time of your life, whether you started at 20 or 35. It just depends on the severity. I have, herniated disc. I have tears in knees. But that had to do with the athletic things that I was doing. It was, some things with weightlifting as well. What I can tell you now, being in the game for so long, is how I actually lift. So a lot of people like to move weight. I like to use weight. So back in the days, I used to lift heavy, ego lift, do crazy things. You'll see some crazy videos on Instagram, flashbacks of what I used to do. I don't do those things anymore because it's about progress, and bodybuilding is about sculpting and building muscle, and training that way, you're just going to hurt yourself and the pain that comes with it. So, getting out of bed is a little bit tougher now than when we were younger. So, that yes.
When you look at what you've done in 8 years and you're here, I appreciate this not necessarily in the world of bodybuilding, but anywhere in general where sometimes we become our own worst enemies because we can't think outside our own perspectives because I'm sure I could look at you as you would pose and look at and like, man, this guy has no deficiencies. There's nothing wrong with him, right? But you're seeing from a different set of eyes.
Yes.
How important is it for you not only to obviously continually always strive to be better, but also have another set of eyes to be like, you know what, you need to pull back, to have that balance out? Because sometimes you probably will never be satisfied with what you're looking at in the mirror.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay.
That's what I always say. So you have to be able to be coachable in order to progress. If you're going to be a know-it-all, you're never going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So for me I know a lot, but I can still learn. And I like to surround myself around great guys, great minds, great eyes that actually know what they're looking at so they can give me the feedback. Also, you have to be ready for constructive criticism. A lot of people can't handle that in this world. So to me,
I feel like a lot of people are more sensitive to things.
The truth hurts, but
truth,
it's the best way to go about it.
The truth is always the best way. Being honest, being real about everything is gonna bring you more of a success rate than anything else. And for me, I love constructive criticism. Nothing offends me. Like, I'll look at my physique and symmetrical in certain areas. I need calves still. I got chicken cutlets. Like, the muscles are there, the splits are there, but I need more density. So for me, it's like, okay, I gotta hammer these things. So I'll look at the quads, a little bit more size. I do men's physique as a competitor, so that's the guys with the board shorts. So we can't have the legs too big. So I have to pick and choose where I want to put more size at. So it's always more upper body for us, but I still like to keep my legs. So it's like what you're saying. For someone on the outside looking in, they're like, damn, I want to look like that. I'm like, bro, you want calves too, so let's work on that, not just this. But when it comes to that, I definitely like to surround myself, and especially here in Powerhouse, man, there's a lot of great eyes, a lot of great minds, all ages too. It's not just any particular age, so I can't just pinpoint them out. A lot of people who really love the sport and understand it, and it's not just bodybuilding, it's fitness in general. Because I meet a lot of people who just want to do it for personal reasons, not for bodybuilding. So you have to be able to adapt and help those people out as well. So it all works hand in hand. So I like to have those eyes. I like to learn from people. I like to teach people. And that's just basically how it is.
You spoke about something in terms of having other eyes and people doing it for their own personal self and growth, right?
Correct.
Are you somebody who's always comfortable in your own skin?
Yes.
Did you have body image issues, and most people have sometimes where like they're not comfortable in their own skin? No matter how great a physique they have, you can always tell there's some type of insecurity there.
Yeah, no, I've never been insecure. We always have little details that we want to work. Like, when I was born, I had something called pyloric stenosis.
Okay.
So my stomach was closed at 2 weeks. They had to open it up. So I'd always had this scar here. So I didn't really care too much about it as I aged. But when I started competing, this is just a subjective sport. Sport. So basically, I'm like, I gotta be perfect. So I gotta get this fixed. I had to get it fixed. I went in October. It didn't work out well. I just did it in March. So now it's looking the way I hope for it should look. But so when we talk about body dysmorphia, a lot of people get it. But I feel like it happens when you're worried about what other people think about you.
Gotcha.
See, and that's what I'm trying to teach people not to do. A lot of people care about what other people think. But at the end of the day, remember, they don't go to bed with you at night. They don't wake up with you at night. They don't pay your bills. So if you're going to get advice, get somebody that actually is an expert at it and they have no bias towards you. Because there's so many people that always want to have an opinion, and it's okay. Everyone's entitled to it. But I feel like the way you react to it is going to be, the deciding factor of your success rate. You won't fail, or you're either going to fail or you're either going to succeed. But you got to do it on your terms, not because someone else wants you to do it on their terms. So for me, I've never, thank God, I just always been a just down-to-earth person, trying to learn, trying to teach. It's just trying to keep going forward, because if I allow myself to look that way, then how can I teach anyone else to be the way that we're actually speaking of right now? I can't tell someone to not have this body dysmorphia or this type of mindset if I'm still thinking that way as well. So, it's basically, that's how you got to teach. You got to preach what you teach what you preach. However they say it. There you go.
Both ways sound fine.
And your stories. I saw actually last night. There's a couple of great stories on there, which very inspiring. And that's what you do, and you're doing a great job of it too.
I appreciate it.
That's another thing too is like especially when you're at the gym, and it's social media. That's what I want to talk to you about now. You can't help but compare. That's another thing about dysmorphia too, and you're thinking about it's also the comparison. Hey, I don't look like this guy. Oh, this guy. What's he? So, again, your social media, you're using it to lead, to also inspire and teach.
Correct.
So, what do you think is the disadvantage though of social media in that aspect where, oh man, you got people that are posting their selfies, you got people comparing themselves to each other. There's a negative towards that, right?
Yeah,
social media.
Yeah, social media has a lot of, I think, more negative than positive. To be
No,
honest. Sometimes I'll detour and I'll just erase the app for a good week just to get that mind reset, because you try to be so positive, but then you surround yourself around negativity. That's going to affect who you are and your mindset. So you got to be really strong there. I feel like for me, I don't compare myself to anybody. You know, even when I'm on stage. Like, we're being compared, but my job is to compare myself with my last self, my last package. Because if I get fixated on people that are going to look almost the same, I'm just going to go crazy. Someone's going to have a bigger bicep than me, or I'm going to have a bigger chest, but they're going to have a better back. You know, I can't go crazy worrying about the next person. I got to keep worrying about myself. So here, you see me, like a lot of people, they know me as the tank top guy. I'm always in a tank top. Like, I'm in a t-shirt right now because I was rushing, so I forgot my tank top. But when I work out late, I'll be in it. But it's like, because I work so hard, it's just me feeling comfortable in my own self. Yeah. And I'm showing, I'm my own billboard. I'm letting people know, listen, you can look this way if you actually put the work in. Don't look like me. I want you to look like a better version of yourself. That's one thing a lot of people tell me. I want to look like you. I said, no. There's only one me. I want you to look better than this. I want you to look better than this, and I want you to look a better version of yourself, and you'll see, you know? Well, social media is always competitive, and then there's a lot of filtration on and I don't filter any of my pictures. I always make sure I post that. Nothing is filtered, nothing is Photoshop, because I want to show raw footage. Because if you see me in person, you'll be like, hold up, time out. You look sharper in your pictures and bigger, and this is not how you look. And that's where social media is really bad for a lot of eyes, because then you got these younger kids looking at these guys that are sharp as hell, and you see them in pictures, and then you see them in person, like, what the hell just happened? It's just a confusion. Yeah,
there's definitely a loss of like genuineness and authenticness, basically, when you have all these apps that can kind of improve your pictures and stuff like that.
Correct.
Something I wanted to ask you too is, I'm sure you get asked this a lot too, not only in terms of asking, how do I look like you and things of that nature, but like for me, what I always find interesting is that in anything you want to accomplish and get and to master to a certain degree, you have to learn the information and gain up the knowledge there. But the thing is, there's just so much out there sometimes that it's very difficult for individuals to filter through. All right, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? For you, was it more in the beginning trial and error? Like, all right, I'm going to try this. It doesn't work. All right, that doesn't work. Or this or this. Or was it more information that, this person or this type of literature that I listen to, this is the guide that I want to go through right now, and then you kind of picked it up as you went along?
So in the beginning, in my beginning stages, I did that. But then I realized, like you just said, there's so much information and everyone has a different idea.
Yeah, of course.
So what I had to do was figure it out on my own, trial and error. And this is with everything. Supplementation, training, sleep habits, dieting. You know what I mean? That's the only way you can get correct research. Research comes from trial and error, right? So everyone's going to have their own opinion. Remember that. You can have your own opinion on what sneakers are better for you versus what he thinks. You know, so it's what fits better for you, what works better for you, where you feel it better. So for me, that's how I actually give my information off of because I've done it all. Just to make
How long
sure.
did it take you to kind of figure that out for yourself? Like, because again, it's a never-ending journey.
Oh yeah.
But there's just a certain point where you're like, okay, now I know what works for me and what doesn't.
Yes.
At what point did you figure that part out for yourself?
So we're talking about 8 years, so probably 4 years in. Because there's a lot, because I've had coaches, so I've learned a lot from coaches, but then I realized that they don't know me as well as I know myself, and I was learning myself throughout the process, and I realized I can do it all on my own, and then I can help other people learn how to do it on their own as well. So that's what I've been trying to do. So it all takes time. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, and nothing happens overnight. It doesn't matter how you try to take it, what route you try to take, and that's another thing I try to preach to all these guys, because they read a lot of things. There's no speeding up the process, trust me on this one. There isn't. You're going to rush to the wall. You're going to speed kills, remember that. So, yeah.
So the aspect of not only to work out here, too, but also to carry it outside, and we're talking about outside, is your diet. Yeah. Now, I know you partake. I like your philosophy because you partake in a donut here or there. And,
yes, correct.
What is your philosophy on that as well? Is it depending on what you're training for? Is it on just, smaller portions? Don't really kill yourself because you only have one life. You need to enjoy the flavor of good tasting food sometimes. What is your philosophy on that?
I call it the combination platter.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
Remember, we want the combination platter. That always will satisfy our stomach. It's all about. It's
very true. You go to a restaurant, you get the combo because you get a little bit of everything. Yeah, exactly.
And life is about a little bit of everything. You can reach your goal as long as you don't limit yourself. See, the donut effect is fun because we're trying to spike our insulin.
Yeah.
Spiking your insulin is just going to benefit you for how your carbs get distributed.
Yeah.
So you're just going to use that as fuel. It's like putting extra octane, in the engine. You want to rev it, so you want that full, so you can actually, go out there and push yourself to the max. Same thing with cheat meals. Everyone always asks me, what about a cheat meal? It's simple. Follow your diet 7 days a week. Have a cheat meal 2 times a week. Just have it the night before you're really going to come into the gym and hit something very intense, like legs, something like that, or that nature. Something that you're going to go really heavy, it's just good. Your muscles are going to absorb it. You're going to burn it. You're going to fuel it, not absorb to convert. You know what I mean? So it's an easy concept, but people get scared because of what they read. Everything they read. Oh, go on ketosis. Oh, you can't have carbs. You can't do this. You can't do that. Listen,
it goes back to what he said. Like, it's out there and people are reading and thinking, okay, now I can't do this. And it's not based off any factual knowledge.
Exactly.
It's just basically an opinion or somebody who took something and skewed it a different way to scare everybody.
Yeah, because you're going to, whatever you want to, believe, you're going to find it on Google, right?
Oh,
if you want to be told, okay, I knew it because that's what it says on Google. You're going to look for it.
You can drink too much water to a certain degree. Water's bad for you now. It's like, okay.
You're going to drown.
You're going to drown yourself.
Like now the fad is about saunas now. I don't know if everyone's asking, is there a sauna here? Is there a sauna there? Well, and we were talking to Vinny before. He was saying, it's a fad. It's not going to last, whatever like that, because people are, it's like people want to believe, hey, if I just go to the sauna, whatever, I'll sweat it all out, whatever. I don't have. But it's just crazy, though. People will find what they want to believe on Google, on social media, and stuff like that. It's crazy.
And that's bad.
Yeah, and that was based on recovery. So for you, knowing how intense, I've seen you here work out, you're very intense, you're very focused, very driven, because you're the kind of person similar to me, and I've told this to Jeff too. When I'm here, I have a certain time that I want to work with, and I want to what's the word used? I want to take advantage of my time.
Oh no, this guy's the mayor of Powerhouse, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
If you see him over there, man, he's making the people are talking to him. And
yeah,
stuff
but he's trying to get his workout done. He's trying to get
no, but some
the
people just will not have it. But this guy is he'll talk to you. Bro.
Oh yeah, that's the nicest thing about him. Of course, that he does that.
Yeah.
But in terms of recovery, what do you do to actively recover? Because again, you're 39 years old. Don't look it. Still looking strong as an ox here. He's got muscles in places that I don't have places. But what do you do to actively recover yourself? What's your philosophy? As an active recovery, is it taking a full day off? Do you do ice baths? Do you do cryotherapy? What do you do to recover the body?
I keep it simple, once a week. Well, 2 things I do. I do muscle therapy with my guy at EJ Muscle Therapy on Instagram. Shouting him out right there. Yeah. He's one of the best muscle therapists out here. He does all the pros, everyone who needs it. Okay. He's got me in the right shape. Also, I do the sauna work. That's my favorite recovery. So basically what I do is I go to a location in Edison. They have about 4 different saunas, different temperatures. Okay. So I'll start off 10 minutes per sauna. Just go in there and stretch. I stretch every body part as the heat intensifies. Then I go and I hit the cold sauna just to, freeze up those muscles. Then I go into the locker room and I do a steam room for 10 minutes. And then I do 2 different temperature hot tubs, from hot to 2 degrees less. And then I finish off with a 70-degree cold soak for 5 minutes.
Okay.
That right there, that's the combination platter again. That right there, you're going to feel amazing. Your body's going to get shocked. Your muscles are going to fucking recover. It's going to, the cold bath is going to, that inflammation is going to lower it. And you're golden, man. And then the blood flow is just going to keep running. And the muscle therapy is to open up, break the scar tissue down so you can allow more blood flow, because a lot of times when you have scar tissue, we work out so much and we won't see development is because we have too much scar tissue blocking that blood flow. And at the end of the day, we need to allow blood flow to get into the muscles and oxygen to get into the muscles so we can grow.
Do you think that's something that a lot of people don't really pay too much attention to in terms of taking away that lactic acid? I don't see, honestly, I've seen some of the best bodybuilders in the world when you watch them on YouTube, you see them compete, but I see them and they don't look very flexible to me. Because they look very stiff. Because
they don't, the most important thing, again, that muscle therapy is key. Mm-hmm. And they don't do that. Because you know what? Everything in this life is cost effective, right? Yeah. So I tell people what you invest and what you're willing to invest, and this goes for everything in life, is going to be the deciding factor of how you're going to look and how your progress and your success is going to be. If you want to make money, you have to invest money.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Perception is reality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you're going to go cheap, then you're going to look cheap. And that's how you are what you eat, right? So whatever you eat, that's how you're going to look. Yeah. It's all works hand in hand. It's a whole, like I said, I love the combination platter, term, because you got to combine so many things to just get to one thing.
Yeah, no, of course.
You know?
Definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, just the way you talk about it, obviously you've done your research and stuff, and obviously it's good to. Where do you get your research? Like, how have you become so? And I know it's experience, obviously too, but like, where do you get most of your information from for people that are just getting into it? Like, where would you lead them? Where would you point them in the right direction?
It's funny because Dr. Mac over here at the Mac Spa, he loves me because when we have these conversations, he's like, man, it's incredible how much knowledge you have, and you never even went to school for it.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Listen,
I mean, that's the power of the internet, though, too.
Like, you guys are talking about lactic acid and all that. I think you guys are
terminology like, what's that? Can I drink it?
Exactly. Yeah.
But it all comes again. It all comes from. I started from point A. I picked and choose who I wanted to listen to. You got this guy, Bio Lane. He's a fucking scientist, amazing. Excuse my French.
That's okay.
He's amazing. On IG, I only follow like a select one or two like scientifically proven dudes on IG that I get a lot of information from now. But it was more like you were saying. It was a lot of trial and error, reading stuff, seeing that this was the right way, if this was the wrong way, and just doing more research on what's the benefit of this supplement, what's the benefit of this food, why should we have less starch, why shouldn't we have saturated fats, what's the importance of carbs and protein. A lot of times they're telling you this amount of protein. It all works on genetics.
Yeah.
And then sodium and potassium, which is so important in the body, how it affects water retention and all this other stuff that happens. Nerve regulation and everything. It's all about me reading a lot. Like I read every day.
Yeah.
I'm always reading because information changes every day.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You have to have the mind. You have to be coachable. You have to be willing to learn and not be a know-it-all. That's the only way you're gonna learn information. Yeah. There's too many guys out there. So what I would do to answer your question is I would tell them to find someone. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but someone who has the correct.
I'll do it. Toot. Right here.
I appreciate it. Someone who actually cares.
Well.
Someone who actually knows what they're talking about, not just looks this way, but also knows what the hell they're talking about. There's people that don't look like this, and they're smarter. They know their stuff. It's just, they rather teach it, and then, I want the whole package. I'm a combination platter again, like we said.
Yes, you
I
are,
want to
man.
look the part so that I can speak the part so you can realize this is the person you want to pay attention to. So find yourself someone like that, and there's people out there, and just make sure they're not going to BS you and, they care about giving you the right information. A lot of these people want to withhold information like it's a secret.
I know, right? They don't want to share their knowledge and stuff.
So many people come up to me like, yo, you're the nicest guy. Like, you tell me everything. Like, I asked this other guy this thing, and he was like,
People are very protective for some weird reason. I don't know why. I think everyone benefits when you share this stuff and you prevent the similar errors to keep continuing. That's how you want to stop it,
I want everybody to win.
I like how he calls himself a combo platter.
I'm going to call him a combo platter on the floor now.
I've always used the terminology Baskin Robbins. This guy's Baskin Robbins to me. He tries all 31 flavors. All 31 flavors to try to see what works out for him or not.
I'm going to try that pre-workout. Let's see.
So two things for me real quick. So when you do want to get that cheat meal, what do you go to? What's your go-to?
For me, I love sushi. Sushi is my top number one. Or
he's got to try ceviche. Have you tried Peruvian ceviche?
Oh yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I love it.
Man.
So that, and also, real pizza, not no Domino's or Papa John's. Although those are good, I want some like brick oven, New York style.
They made it. They stuck in the oven. You get that smell, that texture.
Yeah, but I'm not eating one slice. I'm eating like 6 or 7.
Nor would I ever think he would have only one slice. This guy.